Hey, bold and the beautiful fans. Oh, have we got a 2-week spoiler drop that is going to have you absolutely glued to your screen? We are talking June 15th straight through June 26th, and let me tell you, it is wall-to-wall chaos in Los Angeles. Brooke Logan is completely unraveling, and the scary part? She doesn't even know the worst of it yet. The moment she finds out that her own daughter has been secretly designing for Katie over at Logan while on leave from Forrester? Honey, Brooke is going to go from 0 to nuclear in about 3 seconds flat. And that's just the beginning. We've also got Sheila Carter back in the mix, and her reasons for showing up are exactly as self-serving as you'd expect. Plus Bill Spencer, bless his scheming heart, is already cooking up something to take a swipe at Forrester Creations. I'm your host, and we are diving into every juicy detail for the 2 weeks of June 15th through the 26th, including the big couture launch, Wyatt and Shauna's bold power move, RJ's new romance heating up fast, and all the sisterly backstabbing your soap-loving heart can handle. Make sure you're subscribed because you do not want to miss a single episode. Let's get into it. Monday, June 15th, we're picking right back up from where Friday left off, and the tension between Will Spencer and Elektra is only getting thicker. Will is sitting on a massive secret, Katie's new mystery designer, and Elektra is absolutely relentless about getting it out of him. She is pushing, she is prodding, she is using every trick in the book, and Will is visibly squirming. His mom made it crystal clear that the Hope Logan collection has to stay completely under wraps until the launch, and Will knows how high the stakes are. But here's the thing, Will and Elektra just got back together. They're finally in a good place. And Will is the kind of guy who genuinely wants to be honest with the people he cares about. So there is a real possibility that he slips up, tells Elektra about Hope's involvement, and then makes her swear on her life to keep it quiet. And that, dear fans, is where it gets very interesting. Because Elektra is a Forrester. You do not hand a Forrester a secret about Logan and expect it to stay buried. That's like leaving a lit candle next to a curtain and hoping for the best. If Elektra spills this to Steffi or Ridge, the fallout is going to be catastrophic, and it could blow up Hope's entire plan before the launch even happens. Meanwhile, over at the beach house, RJ and Dylan's first date is still very much in progress, and things are moving quickly. RJ brought her back to his place, and the chemistry between them is undeniable. Whether or not they take things all the way on this first night, one thing is clear. RJ is completely smitten, and this relationship is gaining real momentum fast. Tuesday, June 16th, the excitement at Forrester Creations is reaching a fever pitch because Eric's brand new couture line is almost ready to launch, and everyone on that team is absolutely buzzing. This collection is Eric's big statement, his triumphant return to the top of the fashion world, and they wanted to completely overshadow the work he did for Katie over at Logan. Which, let's be honest, is very much the underlying motivation here. But here's the ripple effect. The fact that Eric's couture launch is happening so soon is lighting a fire under everybody at Logan too. Katie, Bill, and Dee are scrambling like crazy to get Hope's collection out the door just as fast, because they know that if Eric's line drops first and steals all the headlines, they lose their moment. Fashion is all about timing, and right now, timing is everything. We're also going to get some runway previews, a few Forrester models doing last looks in Eric's designs before the official launch. And I'll just say this, some of those early design glimpses have been a little hit or miss. There was one piece during RJ's visit to the atelier, a fuchsia maxi skirt paired with what can only be described as a mustard yellow strapless top, that was not giving couture, that was giving craft fare. So I'm genuinely curious whether Eric's full launch collection is going to wow us, or whether the styling decisions are going to have people raising eyebrows on social media. On a different note, Zend pulls Carter aside for some advice. Zend has been stewing over the fact that all of his hope for the future designs got shelved, just sitting in a drawer somewhere while Hope is off on leave, and the line is in limbo. He's frustrated, he feels overlooked, and Carter is going to lend a sympathetic ear. Zend has real talent, and he knows it, which is part of what makes this so painful for him. And Brooke gets a promise from Steffi. This is likely tied to Hope for the future's return. Steffi may be offering Brooke a more concrete timeline for when the line will be back in production now that the couture launch is imminent. Brooke has been pressing for specifics forever, and a firm commitment from Steffi would be enough to give her some temporary peace of mind. Wednesday, June 17th, okay, so this scene is going to be absolutely delicious. Taylor and Deacon are at Taylor's office, and they are very much in their feelings. Kissing, getting cozy, completely lost in the moment. And then the door flies open without so much as a knock, and who is standing there? Sheila Carter. Taylor screams. Deacon nearly jumps out of his skin. And just like that, the whole romantic bubble bursts. Sheila's timing has always been impeccable in the most catastrophic way possible, and this entrance is very on-brand for her. Meanwhile, everything changes when Steffi comes to Hope with a last-second offer. This could be the move that reshapes the whole storyline. Steffi may tell Hope that if she ends her leave of absence and comes back right now, Hope for the future will go straight into production. No more waiting, no more vague timelines. It's a genuinely good deal on paper, and it's the kind of offer that Brooke assumes Hope will jump at without a second thought. But here's what Brooke doesn't know. Hope has already committed herself to Katie's collection at Logan. She's been secretly working on designs, she's deep in the process, and she has zero intention of walking away from it now, not even for a straight shot back to Forrester. And that is exactly the kind of answer that is going to make Steffi pause. Because if Hope hesitates, if she doesn't immediately say yes to what is a very generous offer, something is off. Steffi is already starting to get a nagging feeling that something is going on with Hope that nobody is telling her about. She's going to mention this to Brooke. And that little seed of suspicion is what pushes Brooke right over the edge. Thursday, June 18th, Sheila's cards are finally on the table. We're getting the full picture this week of why she came back, what she actually wants, and who the mystery roommate is that she's been staying with. The obvious read is that Sheila showed up to reclaim Deacon. She has never fully let go of him, and seeing him tangled up with Taylor Hayes of all people is not something Sheila is going to accept quietly. But as always with Sheila, what she says publicly and what she's actually scheming are probably two very different things. Watch her carefully, because Sheila Carter never plays a single game at a time. Dylan also gets a surprise on the work front. She had been working under Daphne, but there may be a shift coming. Either Electra needs an assistant, or RJ might pull Dylan onto the men's line so he can work alongside her every day. That would be very RJ, finding a professionally convenient reason to keep his new love interest close at all times. Very smooth, very transparent, extremely relatable. Friday, June 19th, the week closes out with a seriously high-stakes meeting as Wyatt and Shauna sit down with Liam and Bill to make a major proposal. These two have clearly been cooking something up, and it's significant enough that they're bringing it to the senior Spencers for buy-in. Shauna asks point-blank whether they have a deal after the presentation wraps, and Bill, being Bill, pumps the brakes. He's not saying no, but he's not saying yes either. He wants something from Wyatt first, and based on everything we know, that something is almost certainly the real Hope Diamond. The genuine article. Bill has made it abundantly clear that the replica isn't going to cut it, and he wants the real Big Blue in hand before the Logan launch, if possible. And then, this is the scene of the week. Brooke goes absolutely unhinged at Katie's office. She storms in demanding to know who Katie's new designer is, full energy, no chill whatsoever. She is ranting, she is pacing, she is making threats, and poor Katie is standing there trying to hold it together while secretly knowing that Hope is literally hiding behind a screen in the same room. Hope can hear every single word of Brooke's tirade. She is frozen back there, listening to her mother spiral, and Katie is doing everything in her power to keep Brooke's attention directed away from the screen long enough for Hope to slip out undetected. The tension in that scene must be absolutely unbearable. Brooke threatens to go door to door through every office in the Spencer and Logan buildings until she finds the mystery designer, and when Katie tells her she's being ridiculous, Brooke fires back. "Try me. I dare you." That line alone. Katie buys just enough time by telling Brooke that she'll find out who the designer is tomorrow, along with everyone else, at the Logan launch. And somewhere behind that screen, Hope is holding her breath, inching toward the door, praying her mother doesn't turn around. Week of June 22nd to 26th. July sweeps begins June 25th. Friends, buckle up, because the second week is where everything truly detonates. July sweeps kicks off on Thursday, June 25th, which means the show is pulling out every single stop. Hope's collection launch at Logan is expected to land right around that sweeps kickoff date, and the fallout from it is going to be massive. Think about who finds out and when. Brooke is going to discover that Hope has been secretly designing for Katie, her own sister, while pretending to be on a leave of absence. And Steffi and Ridge are going to find out that their former lead designer went straight to a competing house. Zend is going to realize his shelved designs were essentially overlooked in favor of Hope's secret collection. Pretty much everyone at Forrester Creations is going to feel some level of betrayal, and they are not going to be quiet about it. Donna is probably somewhere pretending she doesn't have a phone. Bill gives Wyatt and Shauna his final answer on their proposal. If he agrees to bring a jewelry line into Logan, that's a game changer. Suddenly Logan isn't just competing with Forrester in fashion, they're competing across product categories. That's a whole new battlefield, and it's the kind of strategic expansion that would make Ridge absolutely furious. Bill lives for that. The Brooke and Katie relationship is heading toward an ugly place. Once Brooke finds out the full picture, that Katie hired Hope, kept it secret from her, and launched an entire competing collection built on what Brooke sees as stolen family loyalty, she's going to go scorched earth. Katie will likely remind Brooke that Hope is not a Forrester, so she didn't break any deal. And that's the argument that sends Brooke completely over the edge, because she'll see it as Katie using legal technicalities to justify what is, in Brooke's mind, a full-on betrayal. The accusations of trickery and manipulation are going to fly. And honestly, Katie did play it fast and loose. She went after Hope knowing full well how Brooke would react, and she made sure nobody told Brooke until it was too late to stop it. Will May warn Dylan to stay away from RJ, possibly out of genuine protectiveness or possibly because Will knows something about RJ's history with women that makes him worried about Dylan getting hurt. Either way, that warning is going to complicate what's shaping up to be a really promising new romance. Remy is still fighting to win Dee back, and we'll see whether that campaign is gaining any traction. And Sheila's full plan continues to unfold in ways that are going to seriously disrupt Deacon and Taylor's relationship. Whatever Sheila wants, she's clearly not going anywhere, and Deacon's past with her means this is never going to be a simple situation. That is your full bold and the beautiful spoiler rundown for June 15th through the 26th. It is a stacked 2 weeks, and the drama is only going to escalate as we head into July sweeps. Thank you so much for being here and for being part of this community. We genuinely appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you follow us wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and everywhere else you get your shows. We'll see you for the next one.